Hi. For Project One, we have the greatest engineering achievement in the 21st century. We are Group 8. Part one, we're going to talk about just there are two topics, online banking and Bluetooth.
So for an overview of online banking provides the convenience and abilities of a bank through a computer or mobile device. Services generally included are paying bills, transferring funds, applying for loans, depositing checks, and verifying transactions and account balances. The use of online banking provides users with convenience as there is no longer a need to visit a physical location for most financial services. And for an overview of Bluetooth, Bluetooth is a wireless technology that greatly impacts technological devices. Bluetooth technology replaced the need for cables between devices to transfer files and media and now allows personal devices to interconnect with each other without any physical infrastructure.
Next part, we'll be talking about the background and impacts on society these two formats have had on today. Online banking started with ATMs popping up outside of banks for people to use without having to go inside the bank. This popped up more and more as they appeared on street corners and both in restaurants, hotels, things like that. As websites began to get made for companies, they started adding transaction records, deposits, transfers on their websites, leading to what we have now on our phone, where we can deposit checks online through the app.
And for background on Bluetooth, Bluetooth was first invented in 1994 at Ericsson, a telecommunications company in Sweden. Bluetooth was created to allow devices to connect over short-range wireless networks. In 1998, Ericsson joined with IBM, Intel, Nokia, and Toshiba for a special interest group for finishing the development of Bluetooth and creating an industry standard for it. The first Bluetooth device was a headset, which was introduced in 2000. Bluetooth was then ratified by IEEE in 2002. It is now the preferred technology for Internet of Things devices, which encompasses physical devices embedded with software for connecting with and exchanging data with other devices and systems over the internet. And for an origin story of the name Bluetooth, when Intel, Ericsson, and Nokia met in 1996, Jim Cardock from Intel suggested Bluetooth as a temporary code name. This name refers to King Harald Bluetooth Gormason, who united Denmark and Norway in 958 and had a famous Bluetooth which warranted his nickname. Cardock was later quoted as saying, "King Harald Bluetooth was famous for uniting Scandinavia just as we intended to unite the PC and cellular industries with a short-range wireless link." Although meant as a placeholder, the other name options for it didn't work out. PAN, Personal Area Networking, had too many internet hits and there wasn't enough time to vet the name RadioWire. Therefore, the name Bluetooth was used.
Now we're going to talk about impacts on society. So for online banking, some positives would be that it is now easier to manage your money. People are now able to check at their leisure how much money they're spending and where. And then another positive would being able to transfer money online. People can now send people money that are far away or pay their bills immediately and more securely. And then for negative, hacking, no one really considered how online banking might have made it easier for criminals to hack into people's banks and steal their information. And another thing that people didn't really consider was how law enforcement could use people's transaction history against them. Law enforcement is now able to see every transaction you've ever made. And then for Bluetooth impacts on society, a positive would be safety features that have been added to existing devices that use Bluetooth. For example, in cars, people now can safely answer their phone while driving. And Bluetooth has also inspired new technologies such as wireless headphones and other streaming devices. And a negative impact that Bluetooth has had on society would be security. It is incredibly easy for somebody to hack into your Bluetooth and take information from your devices.
Now for part three, we're going to talk about the criteria we used. It's security, development, and accessibility.
Here we can see some of the issues pertaining to security and online banking. Online banking is meant to be super accessible to people everywhere, But because of this easy accessibility, it causes issues with people being able to hack in. This was a real fear for banks in the beginning because they were scared that their customers would get their information stolen. These issues cause people to be wary of using online banking, for fear of losing their information. Next, we can see the development of online banking. It might be surprising to hear that online banking originally began with the use of ATMs, which is access to your bank other than its location itself. As technology advanced, so did online banking, and this is when online banking became accessible through phones and computers. Once this advancement was made, banks everywhere wanted to use this, and it started to spread very quickly. Next, we can see the accessibility for online banking. Because online banking has become so common, if you're a member of a large bank, you more than likely have access to your bank through internet. Online banking is very desirable because it means that you can access your information whenever or wherever you would like. Online banking is an opportunity of convenience for many people.
Almost every single device now has Bluetooth in it. It's as simple as going to your settings and connecting to your device. Devices like headphones, watches, and speakers. But there are many other uses for it. Some printers and other smart devices like Alexa are using Bluetooth now as well. Also, think about how much easier people with disabilities can live with these devices. A true example of this is part of Stephen Hawking's chair had Bluetooth capabilities. Bluetooth is a very open and accessible thing for all of us to use, but one of the problems is it's so widespread and it's so readily available. The frequency is known and does not change very often. It's very easy for someone to intercept this, leading to data loss or information being taken.
Throughout the years, Bluetooth has developed and increasing data speeds, just how fast the devices interact with each other. And the biggest breakthrough so far was with 4.0, they released low energy, where it drastically cut the energy use that Bluetooth use on devices. In conclusion, we believe that Bluetooth has been the greater engineering achievement. It's everywhere. It's way more accessible. It just has a lot more uses than phones and computers. You can use it on. It's been used almost everywhere, and every person that has access to technology has access to Bluetooth.
All right.